So, in light of this TikTok ban, I've been thinking about a conversation that I had with a friend of mine, Bill. I'll tag him below. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was in New York City. He lives there, and we met through TikTok. And we went and we got coffee. We were sitting in a park in New York City and talking about, isn't this TikTok thing kind of crazy? We just had an idea or a thought. We got our phone, made a little video, and before you know it, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000, 200,000 followers from an idea, from just some like, hey, I think I want to share this thought that I had. And how crazy is that? And he said, a lot of people 20, 30 years from now are going to look back at TikTok and they're going to say, this is the coolest thing we've ever done with our lives. And that, I guess, really stuck with me or resonated with me because I feel that way. And a lot of people, they're going to get on TikTok, they're going to make some videos, they're going to rack up a couple followers, and they're going to lose interest, they're going to move on, they're going to go into a different part of their lives. But they'll always kind of look back on this as like, wow, this is something really cool that happened to me. And other people will look at this and go, no, I'm not just going to go away. And that's kind of how I feel. I'm not going to go away, but I might move into the next part of my life that I'll document on social media. And what that is, I'm not entirely sure. But I wanted to say to all of the other content creators out there, some of whom have become friends of mine, and some of them who are much younger than me, I'm almost 40, are looking at this and they're really depressed and they're really upset and they can't believe that this thing that they love so much has been taken away. This is going to be the first of probably a lot of things in your life that don't go the way you wanted, that are upsetting for you. But I want you to do like what Bill and I were talking about, is look back at this and think of all the fond memories and all the things that you were able to do. There's this thing in Tibetan monk culture called these mandalas, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's these sand sculptures that they make. And they're really elaborate sand, things on the ground, and it's artwork, and they make it and then they destroy it. And it's meant to represent the impermanence of life and kind of like the opposite of materialism, and like this idea that if you obsess over things and you like having all of this stuff, that it's going to lead to you being upset. And so this idea is to create something really pretty, or in this case, create something really cool or helpful, and then it goes away. And you're just stuck with the memory of it. And for me, it's going to be helping over 370,000 people start their investing journey. And so, yeah, it goes away. All things in life go away at a certain point. But be left with the feeling of, I helped someone. Maybe it wasn't finance. Maybe you are a cook. Maybe you got people eating a little healthier or trying new recipes. Or, one of the great things of social media, the detriment of social media too, is that people can live in these little bubbles full of hate and ignorance. But on the other side, people can expand their way of thinking and they can learn about new things and new parts of the world or about history. And so if you are a content creator who is upset that TikTok is going away, remember that you still made an impact and you still helped people, whether it was through finance or fitness or recipes or just entertainment. And that even just for a brief moment in time, you'll look back 30, 40 years from now and think about this, like your uncle who just can't seem to let go of the fact that he scored that game-winning touchdown when he was a junior in high school, and he still talks about it. That's going to be some of us looking back 20, 30 years from now going, I was on TikTok. I had 500,000 followers. And your nieces and nephews are going to look at you like you're on crack, and they're going to go, what the hell is TikTok? What are you talking about? But if you're feeling that way, remember that a lot of people are going to do the same thing. They're going to look back and go, hey, I learned to invest because of some guy on this app. And that's the reason we live the life that we live today. And they're going to, well, who was the guy? I can't really remember his name. So if TikTok really does go away, and maybe it won't, but if it does, think of it as that old stupid cliche of when one door closes, another opens. And maybe it will be good for some of us to put the phone down for a minute, take a deep breath, look around, and think about your next steps in life. I mentioned at the beginning of the video that, I'm not going to stop making finance content. I love it, and I love helping I love getting DMs from people saying, hey, I just started investing because of you. But you can't do this one thing forever. And for me, I'm always thinking about my next step. Where do I go from here? And one of my greatest interests has been writing, creative writing. I've written a couple books, and I've always wanted to write a screenplay, and I've started writing one. So hey, if anyone out there has connections in Hollywood and wants to help me out and hook me up with some sort of producer or director, I'm just kidding. I'll make my own way. But I think that's what I'm going to pursue. Now, I ordered a book today on screenwriting. I have Final Draft, which I've had for years. I always like messing around with scripts. But I'm thinking, hey, if TikTok closes down, that sucks. But it gives me the opportunity now to try something new. And that's what I'm looking forward to. So I just wanted to leave you with that. If you're younger, if you're upset about this going, or if you're older, that there's always the next step and the next page that we can look forward to. All right. Thanks for watching. This has been a highlight of my life, like Bill said. This has been an absolute highlight of my life, being on TikTok and helping people invest. I've loved it, and we'll see you down the road.